Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a very special one. We are going to do another ranking, and this is the eyeshadow palettes that I tried in quarter 2. I know I'm a little bit late, but these are the palettes that I tried in April, May and June, and we are going to rank 18 palettes that are there in front of me. I already did a ranking in quarter 1 and I also do ranking every month. So this would be a little different. But we have 18 palettes to go through, so without further ado, let's begin. Let's talk about number 18. There are a few palettes that are a little dud, and it's basically a matter of color story, I would say. I will let you know why did these palettes rank a little low. So let's start off with number 18, and this is Sugar Drizzle's Bunny Love palette. Now this is an eyeshadow as well as a face palette. Truthfully speaking, I feel like more than the eyeshadow, I'm more interested in the face products here. Love this blush and this highlighter. That's my favorite thing about this palette. I feel like the eyeshadows, it is a spring palette, but I also love a good eyeshadow palette. If you're rounding up everything, I would need at least one deeper eyeshadow to just ground everything together, and there's no deeper mattes in this palette, so I highly miss that matte. For the lighter inner corner shade, I can definitely use this in the inner corner, but I feel like because these are pastels, I'm not a big pastel person. I don't wear these like sagey greens and this yellow on my eye. Neither do I wear a lot of pinks, so this is gonna rank a little low in my ranking even for the year. This is the only, like, out of the eyeshadow shades, I would say this and this are the ones that I really like. This is sparkly. These are more like satin shades. This is not the eyeshadow that I love from Sugar Drizzle. I'm a big fan of Sugar Drizzle eyeshadows, especially when they used to do like those shimmery eyeshadow palettes. This was in one of the subscription box. That's how this came across. But for me, my ranking, this is gonna rank on number 18. On number 17, we have the MBA Cosmetics. This was the Spellbound Forest Quad, and this is ranking a low, not because of the formula, because these are absolutely lovely multi-chrome shimmers, but this, I cannot take this as like a single eyeshadow palette. Like, this is definitely a companion shadow for me, and these are all like black based multi-chrome, so they have a deeper base, so I definitely need some matte shadows to complement this. But if you are looking for like black based multi-chrome that shift and shine, this is amazing. Like, I cannot doubt one thing about the eyeshadows, eyeshadow quality, but this cannot stand as a standalone palette for me. That is why this is ranking on number 7. On number 16, we have the Beauty Moon Cosmetics Mantra palette. Similar story here. I love the shimmers in this palette. I absolutely love these like sparkly shades. Not a big fan of these satin shimmers, I would say. And the mattes, I'm a person who loves a good buildable matte, and these could not build as much as I needed on my outer corner. Especially, I am lacking again a deeper shadow in this palette. It has a lot of shimmer shadows that are more deep. Like, this is a deeper shimmer, this is a deeper shimmer, this is a deeper shimmer. To ground these deeper shimmers, I definitely need a deeper matte. That is what is lacking in this palette, and that's why this is ranking on number 16. On number 15, we have No Mattes Fête de Provence palette. Now, absolutely nothing wrong with this palette. I love this palette. It's just a matter of color story. I love these 6 shadows that are there on the right side of the corner, but these are not my tones. Like pinks, yellows, those are not my tones, but I can definitely see myself dipping into this palette to mix and match with the shades, and I can definitely see myself grabbing this side of the palette. The quality was A++. I'm a big supporter of No Matte Cosmetics. I absolutely love this palette. So Fête de Provence on number 15. On number 14, we have MBA Cosmetics Cursed Moon palette. Now, there are aspects about this palette that I absolutely love. Now, I love this shade. Love this shade. The shimmers are absolutely gorgeous in this palette. This multi-chrome, it's a little more on the flakier side, but it is shifty like no other. I'm not a big blue person, so I would say I'm glad that they have this black in the palette to ground everything together. But this shade did give me a little bit of problems, I would say, and I'm glad that this shade is also there to blend the shadows to make it more light. Now, because I'm not a big blue person, Nothing wrong with the quality. I absolutely love this setup of the monochromatic palette. Just because I'm not a big blue person, that's why it's ranking a little low. But I cannot say anything wrong about the quality of the palette. I love the shade Beshrewd. These shimmers, I can see myself grabbing onto these shimmers over and over again. I really love it. I would have loved if there was a brown matte in this palette. Absolutely killer palette. I love this one. I am an affiliate with Nomad Cosmetics as well as MBA Cosmetics, and my code is Smithy Sony. Talking about Nomad Cosmetics, the next palette is also from Nomad Cosmetics, and this is the America Sparks palette, and this is ranking on number 13 right now. And this palette is beautiful for the variety of the shades that are given in this palette. I can actually see a lot of people loving this palette. I love the neutral tones in this palette. I'm not a big green person, so this is definitely outside my comfort zone. Not a big yellow person too, so these like 5 shadows are definitely out of my comfort zone, but rest of the palette are definitely my tones. I love this dusty deeper purple shade, love the brown in this. I love that the variety is right there. I did like a green and a purple look with this palette. I loved that look. I absolutely love the mixing and the matching and what all can be done with this palette. I really love this. This is a newer revamped formula from Nomad Cosmetics. So again, not complaining one bit about the formula because they are absolutely top-notch quality for me. I really love this palette too. On number 12, we have Ensley Green Cosmetics Hedgehog palette. Now this is a 6-pan eyeshadow palette in their Woodland Creatures. This was the only palette that I did not have in my collection and was recently sent this. I would say this shadow is definitely more on the textured side. And I love that there's a pastel yellow for my inner corners because I definitely need these. 4 are my jam. That's why it's ranking a little bit more higher. But again, we are playing with 6 shadows and I need more variety. My sweet spot, I would say, is like 12 to 15 pan eyeshadow palette. That's what I love about eyeshadow, when I get some variety. I don't think we can get a lot of looks out of this palette, but whatever looks, the purple looks and the mauvey looks that I get out of this palette is absolutely amazing. So I definitely wanted to rank this on number 12. On number 11, we have the Sunset Symphony palette from Krypton Cosmetics. Beautiful, outstanding summer palette. This is such a beautiful palette. Again, too loud for me. That's the only reason. Again, just a color preference here. I love Krypton Cosmetics with my whole heart. I am a non-affiliate. I have a non-affiliate code with Krypton Cosmetics and my code is Smithy Sony. These shadows, I feel like if you want shifty shadows and if you're looking for a lot of shifty shadows in one palette, this is the palette for you. It's such a beautiful palette, but also I feel like this shadow, Afterglow, very shifty but very squishy too. I have a creasy eyelid, so I have to be very careful when I'm going with those squishy eyeshadows. There was another shade, I think Halo, Afterglow, and Mojito. They are more on the squishier side and more of the flakier formula. If you do experience creasing on your eyelids, just do keep that in mind. You need to thin it out in your fingers and then apply it on your eyelid. But I love this palette with my whole heart. I would have again loved if there was one deeper shadow in this palette. That's what I'm missing in this palette because I don't want to dip into this palette for like as a standalone palette. Of course, I can dip into 100 more palettes that I have in my collection, but if I am taking this as a standalone palette, I don't want every look to have a blue deeper outer corner, and that's my preference of applying eyeshadow. I definitely love a good deeper outer corner, and whenever I'm dipping into this palette, I generally do dip into that blue for deepening out my crease, and I don't want blue all the time in my looks. That's the only reason. I would have loved if there was like a more of a burgundy or a deeper brown here in this palette, even a black. I would have loved it. But that's all. That's the only my 2 cents about it, but I love this palette. This is a magnetic pan eyeshadow palette too, so you can mix and match your shades. Love that aspect about Krypton Cosmetics. I really love them. So this is ranking on number 11. On number 10, we have now top 10. On number 10, we have Nomad Cosmetics America's Route 66 palette. Absolutely underrated palette in my opinion. I really love this warm side of the color story. Really love. I'm not a big blue-green person, but these greens do have some nuance to it, some grunginess, some mutedness to it that I absolutely love in this palette. And these shades are, they're not like sparkly, they're more satin shades here in the center ones, but these are very, very sparkly. So you are getting variety with the quality of the shimmers too, but I really love everything that's going on here. I love the peachy tones, the pinky leaning warm tones. I really love that. Again, a very, very beautiful palette in my opinion. So I really love this Nomad Route 66. So that was on number 10. Now on number 9, this is ranking a little high, but this again is a companion palette. It's not a standalone palette for me because it's an all shimmer palette, but I could not rank any lower because the quality of these shimmers is what I absolutely love. And this is from MBA Cosmetics, and this is the Bloom palette. If you love a good iridescent shadows that are very thinly pressed but they shift and shine, these are full of duochromes. I really, really love this palette. Again, I can go with like a basic neutral mattes on my crease and just plop one of these shades in on my eyelid and just call it a day. I love every look that I've created with this palette, so that's why I'm ranking this on number 9. I do have an affiliate code with MBA Cosmetics. My code is Smithy Sony. I really love this palette, and this was sent to me in PR. I'll plop when things were sent to me in PR on the screen somewhere. The next palette, on number 8, we have, for the first time I tried Kaima Cosmetics, and this is ranking on number 8. I really love playing with this palette, and this is the Frosted Fairy palette. This is my first palette from them, as I told, and I'm not a big pastel person, and I am happy to report that all these pastels, they show up on my skin tone exactly the way it appears in the pan. I really, really love, and I also love that these pastels are accompanied with some deeper mattes in this palette, which also I absolutely love. Now, if I have to critique one thing, I feel like this Angel shade was definitely more of a textured shadow for me. I would have loved if those texture shadows are not there anymore and you give us like more of like a smoother shimmer formula, which there are a bunch here. I really did not have any problem with any other shade except the Angel shade, and those are my favorite kind of shades. You know how much I love my purples and pinks, and that kind of shade I love, but I definitely had a lot of textural problems when I applied that shade, so do keep that in mind. I also have said in my reveal video as well as my 3 palettes 3 looks video where I used this, I would have loved if this shade was not there and there was a pastel yellow. That would have completed this palette, and I often do exchange this shade for a pastel yellow shade because again, this is a magnetic palette, which is what I love about this palette. I am very, very happy with Kaima Cosmetics. I cannot wait to see what all they are coming out in future for us. Cannot wait. On number 7, again a companion palette, but I could not rank this any lower. This palette, it boggled my mind the way these shimmers perform. They are absolutely dead gorgeous. This is an all shimmer palette. It is a 12 pan duochrome palette from MBA Cosmetics. Again, this is the iridescent bubbles palette. It is an older palette, but this is the first time I am using this palette, and this shimmers, it blew me away. I love these shimmers. I love that you can go colorful, more neutral with this color story, and there is not one shimmer that is a dud here. They are all very, very different. If you are looking for a shimmer palette that can give you impact but no textural shadows, but they are very sparkly on the eyes, this palette is for you. I love this palette with my whole heart. Like, I cannot complain one thing. They're giving us variety, they're giving us dimension, they're giving us the sparkly formula that I absolutely love and adore. I cannot recommend this palette enough to anybody. If you're looking for an all shimmer palette, this is a beautiful one to have in your collection. Again, this is ranking on number 7. On number 6, we have the last of the Nomad palettes in our collection, and this is the Nomad's Berlin Underground palette. I cannot tell you how much I love this palette. I absolutely have head over heels fallen in love with this palette. I was not a big lover when I saw the reveal of this palette because I didn't have this palette earlier, and when I saw it revealed, I was like, okay, another neutral palette. I love it. It's fine. I can use it definitely. But when I got to use this on my eyes is when I fell in love with this palette. The shimmers are shimmering, the mattes are beautiful, they're giving us variety. If you are into grungy neutrals, this palette is beautiful. I love that there are like an orange and a green in this palette too, because a lot of people consider orange as well as green as more of a neutral eyeshadow, and I feel like that would give us variety. And none of the shimmers are same in this palette. Again, if you're not a neutral lover, you'll be like, Smithy, what are you talking about? There's 10,000 versions of pewters and champagnes. No, I'm a big neutral person, and these undertones are so different on the eyes. I love that you get like your basic shimmer. But none of these are like basic on the eyes. They're so shimmery. This green gold shade is beautiful. This coppery shade, this blue brown pigment shade, I love it. This silver, I'm not even a big silver person. This shade, Hansa, it looked like a glam eye. Oh, I love it. I have used this so much in office looks. I really love this for office. I cannot recommend this enough. If you are a neutral wearer and if you are doubting whether you need this in your collection or not, I'm telling you, you need this. I really love this one. On number 6, Nomad's Berlin Underground palette. Okay, now talking about top 5. Top 5 in my collection, which you can actually put any of these palette in any order in the top 5, and it can just mix and match any day. I really love all these 5 palettes, and I feel like there's just a little bit of things that I prefer one over the other. That's the only reason why am I ranking this here, why this is falling under this category. But let me tell you, on number 5, this is the first time I'm trying this palette, but again, it's not a newer palette. It's from Bella Beauty Bar, and this is the Poison Garden palette. You know, I was debating if I need this palette or not, but because it was on number 1 list for so many YouTubers that I absolutely love and adore, I was like, maybe I need it. I didn't get it only because I felt like this is more of a deeper palette, and it doesn't have so many like lighter tone or mid-tone mattes to complement my skin tone, and I'm not a big blue person. So I was like, Smithy, truthfully speaking, you're not going to use these 3 shades for sure. And then I'm not a big like grungy green person, so this would also be out of question. But I would say every shade in this palette, yes, it is a deeper palette. I definitely dip into a different palette for lighter mattes in this palette, but these are very unique tones. I love the shimmers in this palette, except this. I feel like all the other shimmers, all the shimmers are very unique. This is the one that I chicken out with, but I love the shimmers of this palette. They're very unique on the eyes. You just need one shimmer on the eye with the corresponding mattes, and you would have a beautiful eye look. I love you can go in like quads and you can get your color story. I really love the quality of this palette. I feel like just because it's a deeper tone eyeshadow palette, I definitely have to dip into the other palettes for a companion palette, but I love whatever was given. I knew when I was getting a deeper tone palette, but cannot deny the quality of the palette is absolutely beautiful. So on number 5, I do have a code with Bella Beauty Bar too. My code is Smithy Sony, but every palette that I have from Bella Beauty Bar, I have purchased with my own money. I don't get PR from them, but I really love them as a brand. Okay, on number 4, this is the Glaminatrix Cosmetics Nearly Natural palette. This is a revamped version of it. Again, I use this so much. I really cannot deny that I absolutely love this palette. Now, the only thing, is it a basic palette? Yes, it is a basic palette. But is it like a staple palette in the collection? I would say yes. I really love that this is more of a magnetic palette too. I can do actually a video where I am combining different Glaminatrix palette and creating my own color story that I love and adore, my kind of neutral palette. I feel like this is very close, but I would have loved if there were a little bit more like shifty shadows or sparkly shadow, not textured shadow by any means, which is what I love about Glaminatrix. I feel like Glaminatrix gives us some variety of like shimmery eyeshadows that are very sparkly. I would have loved to see a little bit more shift in this palette just to make it an extra special. This is definitely a staple palette in my collection, and I can see myself using this over and over again. I love Glaminatrix quality with my whole heart. I really love this palette, so I would definitely recommend, if you are eyeing this palette and if you're a neutral lover, you would absolutely love it. I do have a code with Glaminatrix Cosmetics I do have a code with Glaminatrix Cosmetics too, and my code is Smithy Sony, and this was sent to me in PR. Really loved it. Top three, are you ready? On number 3, this is a part of the things that I have on my eyes. On number 3, we have Natasha Denona Bloom palette. This palette, I feel like I dip into it for the mattes. Mattes are the store shopper for me in this palette. These are the mattes that I definitely lean over. Is it giving us a lot of variety? No. That's the reason why I have put it on number 3 instead of 2 or 1, but I do love the mattes. Today I have this shade Brick and Keen on my eyelid, and I do have this shade also Bark on my outer corners. For my inner corner I have the shade Crisp, and I do have this shade Ember just to tie the deeper mattes along with the shimmer. The shimmer that you see on my lid will come in the first 2 palettes, okay? But this palette is beautiful. If you love a corally pink color story, I feel like you'll absolutely love it. You have to think that you're not coming here for this palette for the shimmer if you love a sparkly shimmer on your eyelid. These are very like typical duochrome, or I would say like traditional shimmer formula. This has a little bit of duochrome of a peachy shift to it. This has a beautiful like a purpley shift to it, I would say, but rest everything is like a very traditional shimmer. But these are the tones that I love on myself, especially for like spring and summer months. I can definitely see myself using this palette. And the packaging, A++. I love that it is magnetic, so you can plop your shadows and make it your own too. I really love that aspect about Natasha Denona shadows too. I have a code with Natasha Denona. My code is Smithy Sony for 15% off. On number 2, we have the Ensley Rain Cosmetics Whispering Woods palette. This palette, if you're a green lover, oh my gosh, you would love it. Again, I'm not a big green lover, but the variety of shades that you can get and the variety of looks that you can get out of this palette is beautiful. Take this green out and this green out and this green out for me, and I'm in heaven. I know. A lot of people love greens, but these shimmers, I cannot deny, these shimmers are beautiful. You have your browns, you have your mauves, you have your berries, you have those like pukey kind of green shade, which I love. I love a good like a poppy orangey shade. There is like a pinky coral shade. These shimmers are my favorite from them when they are more smooth, dimensional, shifty. They are not textural on your eyes one bit. I love the fact that Ensley Rain has gone away from the textural shimmers and the squishier shimmers, because again, I tend to have a lot of creasing. Not that I did have creasing from Ensley Rain shadows. I again have told a lot of times I do not use a glitter glue or a tacky base for Ensley Rain shimmers, because I feel like they do have enough tack in them, but these shimmers are not finicky by any means. These mattes are also very blendable, very buildable. They give us variety here. I definitely can see myself traveling with this palette, especially just take this side off and give me a little bit more like purples and mauves and basic brown shades. I would love it. But on number 2, I do have a non-affiliate code with Ensley Rain Cosmetics, and my code is Smithy Sony. Okay, let's talk about number 1 palette. I think you would have guessed what my number 1 palette is, but if you have not, drum roll. My number 1 palette for quarter 2 is Glaminatrix Cosmetics Timeless Tones palette. This palette is beautiful. I love cool tones. I really do. I'm not, again, for the 1000th time, I would say, I'm not a big green and a blue person, but these tones of greens and blue, they look so beautiful on the eyes, and these shimmers are absolutely breathtaking. I do not have the Tones of Turt palette as yet in my collection. It's just been shipped from there, so I don't know when I would get it, but as soon as I get it, I would definitely do a video on it. I am waiting for that. Again, not a big green person, but I'm very excited about that because I do love their quality of the eyeshadows that they create. I absolutely love them. This is the shadow that I have on my inner part, which is Dignified. I do have a little bit of Tasteful also on the outer corners. I actually started with the shade Vogue as my all over shade, and this is the shade that I use pretty much every day after just to set my eyes. If I do have like some kind of a concealer on my eyelids, just to set everything out. And I love that there are like a column of iridescent multichromes, and these are so shifty, they're so sparkly, they give us variety. This is like a colorful palette for a neutral lover. This is like spicy neutral palette. Especially if you're a cool tone lover, I feel like you'll absolutely love it. I cannot recommend this enough to anyone who loves a cool tone eyeshadow palette. And this is cool tone without being grays. I love it. I absolutely love it. So those were my 18 palettes ranked for Q2. You guys have to let me know if you do agree with this palette ranking, if you deny. We can be respectful towards each other, but you can definitely put your comments in the comment section below. I would love to hear which is your top palette from your collection that you have tried in 2025, and let me see if I do have it in my collection or not. But that's all for today. If you did like my video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.